Hello and welcome. Today we are going to talk about how to estimate your milk purchases for an upcoming month so you will have a better opportunity to make sure that you are purchasing and serving the correct amounts of milk required for your center each month. This will help you maximize your funding for all the extra work you're doing. All right, so what we're looking at here is called a milk purchasing estimator. So again, this is a really simple tool that can be used when you're doing your menu planning each month, and it's going to help you determine how much milk you'll need to be buying either weekly or monthly for your upcoming service. So this is a basic Excel spreadsheet, and what we're looking at here is it's broken out by age group based on the CACFP requirements. We have 1-year-olds, 2-year-olds, 3 to 5, and then 6 and up. And then the type of milk that is required per age group. So you can see that 1-year-old to 23 months require whole milk being served, and then 2-year-olds and older all require within the 1% skim or fat-free category. And then portion size, this is an area that I think some centers get hung up on. A lot of them think they can just free pour milk into a cup and put it in front of the kids, and they're not serving the appropriate portions. And when their claim information is calculated, a lot of times they have underpurchased or underserved, and it can get them in trouble. So this is something you want to pay attention to and make sure that your staff are educated and knowing how much milk to be pouring to each age group during meal service. So breakfast, lunch, and supper are all required to have milk served to the children. You do not have to serve milk during snack. You're welcome to do so, but it's not required. So it is recommended that maybe you don't serve milk as one of the components, and that way it will keep your purchases down for milk. But again, if you'd like to serve it, you're certainly welcome to. Okay, so on the spreadsheet, we're going to go to this column here that says average daily number of children who receive this meal. So it's a good idea to put these numbers in based on your current enrollment. So this obviously might fluctuate each month. So it's good not to plug in just the same numbers over and over. You want to, do your best estimate of the actual children that are at your center. And it's again good to put your current enrollment numbers. Normally, 100% of the time, not every child is going to be there eating every meal, but it just increases your opportunity to do your best guesstimation going into the upcoming month so you have a really good gauge on how much milk you're going to be needing to buy. All right, so let's just do an example. So for breakfast, we're just going to go into the squares, and we're going to put in how many children you think you have in each category currently. So we'll say you have 5 1-year-olds, and we'll say you have 7 2-year-olds, and we'll say you have 12 3 to 5-year-olds. And then because it's breakfast, let's just say you have 15 school agers that eat before they go to school. So we're going to input that data. So over here under the ounces per day in the far right column, the spreadsheet's going to calculate how many ounces based on the number of children multiplied by the fluid ounce requirements for that age group. So 4 times 5 is 20, 4 times 7 is 28, and so on and so forth. So these are ounces. Numbers look high, but remember this is ounces. All right, so then let's go down to lunch, and let's just say, okay, we assume in the first 3 categories that you have the same children there for lunch that you did for breakfast. So we're going to input that again. And then for the school agers, obviously they should be at school. So that area will probably be left blank unless it's summertime when they're there all day, or it might be a holiday or a snow day. And the school agers might be at your center because school's closed for some reason. But normally, again, this should probably be blank, or maybe just 1 or 2 kids if they're there for some reason. So you want to make sure, you remember that as well, because we want this calculation to be as accurate as possible. Okay, so again, over in the ounce column, it's going to calculate for you. All right, and then let's go down and we're going to say you don't serve milk with snacks, so we want to leave this area blank so you don't overcalculate. So we've input all the numbers that we are assuming. So then we're going to go down, and right here in the lower bottom right yellow box is where you're going to input the total number of days in the month that your center is open, not the total number of days in the month, because we don't want to count weekends. So let's just say I already have the number 20 here. So let's say it's a 4-week month, and so we're open 5 days a week. So 5 times 4 is 20. So we're going to leave that number there. So then you can see the rest of the spreadsheet here. It's done the calculation for you by the type of milk based on your numbers you input, your enrollment numbers you put in the breakfast and lunch categories. So based on that, for the entire month with 20 days, you have whole milk because you don't have a lot in the 1-year-old category. So it gives you your daily, your weekly, and your monthly averages. So this is really nice. So you can look at it based on how you're going to purchase. Are you going to go to the store every day, or are you going to go weekly? Or are you a center that has enough storage space and maybe you buy shelf-stable milk and you buy for the entire month? So here you're looking at, and now you have a clear estimate of how much milk you're going to need. So these are gallons, remember. So this is a really good, simple tool. And so if you just keep a copy of it and then just, reset it and re-enter your numbers for, each month going forward, make sure that you change your total number of days because that's going to have a bearing on that. And this can really help you and your kitchen staff determine what you're going to need. I will leave a link to this spreadsheet in the video description, so please feel free to copy that link and make a copy for yourself. All right, thanks for watching. And again, I'm going to talk about the milk summary and how you can see if your center is meeting the monthly milk requirements for any past claim months if you're using KidCare. Thank you again. So in this video, we're going to look at the milk summary that is listed in KidCare, and this would be on any past claim months that have already been calculated at the state. And this is a good way to gauge on if you're on track for your purchases based on your serving requirements that show based on your menus. So what we're going to do, and again, this is based on past claim months because this can't do anything going forward because we don't have actual data. So what you will do is when you're logged into KidCare, you're going to go to Claims, and this screen will open up, and then you want to click on Milk Audit. And then this is going to show up, and so it's going to default in the month area to the current month we're in, so you need to make sure that you change that for the month you want to look at. So let's say we're going to look at the November 2024 claim because we know the state has finalized that information. So you'll click your back arrow button to 2024, and then we'll click on November. Okay, so in this circumstance, for this center, and this breaks this out, this is really nice. Again, it's very pretty straightforward. So you have your milk categories, your whole milk, and your 1% milk, and then you'll have substitute, which would be any alternate or plant-based milk in case you have children who are classified as not drinking the dairy milk and they are approved to drink substitute milk. So they have these 3 categories. And then over here, what we have are the purchased gallons, and this is based on the receipts that the center provides to your sponsor, or if you're going directly through the state, showing what you say you purchased through the month. And then the second row would be the required gallons, and this calculation is based on the number of children you show served through the month, the meals that each child had, and then the age groups, because if you remember from the previous video that each age group has their own ounce requirement. So that comes into play in this calculation. So then we'll go over to the columns, and then so under the whole milk, which would be for the 1-year-old category, this center purchased 6 gallons based on their receipt, and then the required gallons were almost 7 gallons. So they had a little bit of an under purchase, so they had a shortage here. So in their 1% category, their purchase gallons was 47, again, based on the receipts that they provided. And then their required gallons was quite a bit higher, like 101 gallons. So they had a severe purchase shortage here. So if you go to the far column on the right where it says total, it is going to show your purchase gallons total. That includes both of the whole and 1% milk, which was 53 gallons. And then the required gallons was a total of 108 gallons. So to see your percentage short, because the state, if they withhold funding, is going to be based on the percentage short and not the gallons short. And this is important to remember because a smaller amount of gallon shortage can result in a high percentage shortage. So this is important to remember. So if you scroll down, you're going to see this box area right here. It's kind of easy to miss. So this is where it's going to show your gallons short for the claim. It shows a total of 54 gallons short, which resulted in a 53% shortage. So if the state is withholding funding this month based on milk shortages alone, this center would have lost over 50% of their funding based on solely having a shortage of milk purchases. Now, a lot of centers, when they see this, they freak out and they're like, I know I purchased enough milk and what I served. And, it's really just a numbers game here. It is based on the claim data that is submitted, again, on the meals that the center shows they served, based on the meals served and the age groups of the children. That is all calculated within the system. And then the receipts are input, and then it spits out the number. So it's pretty cut and dried. So this is where a lot of centers, they get confused. And a lot of times it's either based on they're not keeping track of their receipts and submitting all of their receipts, or again, they're really not purchasing and serving the correct amounts of milk per age group. So it's really important. I keep stressing that, but it's very important to know the ounce requirements that you need to serve to each age group. All right, and then this middle section of the actual calendar for the month, this is again for November. You can toggle between whole milk 1% and skim milk to look at your purchase requirements. So this is kind of nice. So again, the system breaks this out based on all of the cross checks it does from the claim data, and it's going to show for the 1%, which is for the 2 years and up category. It shows based on your serving information you provided, the center provided, how much of that milk was required each day. And then in green, it matches this over here, purchase. The green is showing the date based on the receipts this center submitted. So it shows it only purchased twice within the month, which is fine, and the total amount of gallons of 1% milk. So again, they had a huge shortage, like over 50% of milk. So this is a really nice tool, again, to help your center understand where your strengths or weaknesses might be based on your milk. So you need to check this out. Take a look at your past claim months and see if you're being on track. Okay. Anyway, let me know if you have any questions. You can email me at foodprogramknowhow@gmail.com. And again, I thank you for watching.